Hey ladies and gents, it's Zem back, and I'm going to do the review on the current planes that are for sale, which is the Flying Tigers package. If you haven't seen this yet, we have what they are, not the Flying Tigers, the Sky Tigers. Something like that. They're up in the air. It's one or the other. So we have the current Curtis Tomahawk 2B, which is in the Chinese premium tree, and then of course the Curtis P-40 M105, which is in the Russian tree. Now I'm going to do the P-40 iconic plane review, and then I'll go through all these different makes and models. But I'm just going to go through this package right here, which is the two premium planes at Tier 5, 100% crew, hangar slot, gold for 2,000, and a premium account days of 7. That's what you get in this package. So what are these planes all about? Well, they're P-40s. Of course, they're all a little bit different here. This is the P-40, the Chinese version. This is actually what would have been flown by the Flying Tigers when they were fighting over China against the Japanese. And the P-40 M105, of course, is one of the Lend-Lease planes. But like I said, when I do the iconic plane review, I will go over the different makes and models and cover these in that review. Okay, and I'll be honest on this with you, unless you really like the P-40 style play, you're not going to like these planes. They don't maneuver well, they don't have great altitude performance, they have alright guns if you can get behind a target and use those 650s. Other than that, they really kind of suffer in the current meta, which is a lot of the turn and burn type planes with no cannons. They both carry 650s. They do suffer. So unless you really enjoy that kind of gameplay, these planes are not going to be for you. You know, the P-51, the P-40, P-47, they all have firepower. So yeah, you're not going to... I'm kind of blasé about this. I like the P-40. So if you don't like the P-40, if you don't like that 650 cal armament with no cannons, which means you have very short range, I mean, you can shoot through some big HP targets with them real quick, but they really lack the maneuverability to actually play a little bit more of what the current meta is, which is all mostly turn and burn kind of aircraft. Now, of course, with these planes, and you did other videos on these too, you know, like with the P-51 and the BF-109s and stuff. You know, you have to pick your targets, of course. You know, you want the bombers, ground attack planes, thing with large HP pools, something that's not very maneuverable. You know, low health aircraft, when you come into a cap, you know, you can pick them off pretty easy. You can't get into a turn fight with these planes. You know, these are the low end of the, I mean, the 109s are better in a turn fight. Yeah, so like I said, unless you really like this kind of plane, you know, or you want it just for the iconic thing, or your collector or whatever, yeah, that's about the only time I'm going to say pick it up. I'm not going to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on these planes. These are just blah. All right, I mean, they're just a blah plane. Yeah, that's all there is to be said about them. And I played 5 games in these two planes today, trying to get a decent, some decent gameplay out of them. You know, of course, I'm running 100% pilot on both of them. You know, I don't really have a great pilot on these planes. You know, they were kind of bought as trainers. I bought them a long time ago. So yeah, they're just a blah plane. So we'll take a real look at the stats here real quick on them to see the difference in them. The P-40, this is actually the one in-game. Altitude performance is 183 on the P-40 and the Tomahawk 2B. The P-40 M105, of course, not as well. And I don't think this is the game I showed. Yeah, it struggles to get above 6,500 feet. Other than that, pretty much everything else is very similar in performance. The Tomahawk 2B's 50s are a little less effective than the P-40s, regular in-game ones, and of course the P-40 M105 is a multi-role, so it does get rockets, and we'll look at that too. So yeah, very similar aircraft. You know, there's going to be, of course, some differences. The biggest difference is the altitude performance in the 105, and of course the added multi-role being that this has rockets. You know, but survivability, airspeed, that kind of stuff isn't that much different. So I love I mean, the P40s. You can't get more iconic than the Flying Tigers. You know, but we'll do that in that other review. So that's the P40. That, you know, there's a little difference in the gun mounting. This has the 250s over the in the engine cowling, and 4 in the wing. The 105 or the M P40M, the one for the Russian, is of course a little different. It gets the 650s in the wings, and 4 rockets. So let's see here. This is the last game I played in it. This was the P40 M105. Yeah, you know, and I was trying to go see what I could just do my absolute best in them, and I played 5 games in it. So I got this game and won. Makes good credits. I mean, we're talking 143,000 silver with a 12 in a loss. You know, not too bad, not too shabby actually at all, for considering how much you ended up with. At least in the credit wise, it definitely made a pretty good chunk of change. But you know, once again, in a loss, this would have been probably a lot larger if I would have won that game. Yeah, it was a quick 5 games, and all 5 games I played in these 2 planes were losses. It wasn't a good day for Zem. This was my other game in the Tomahawk 2B, 12,455 XP, or 12,455 combat points. Made a nice 146,000 credits on it. I did get a first class, I believe, in it, didn't I? Yeah, grade 1 fighter in it. So, yeah. Not too shabby. So yeah, the other 3 games were right around the 100,000 mark. I think every one of them was right around 8,000, between 8 and 9,000 combat points. I mean, they can produce if you really like the planes and you have a general idea how it works. But yeah, they're a blah plane. So it's gonna be entirely up to you. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't like these planes. Play styles, if you do, hey, jump on it, or your collector, jump on it. Otherwise, no, I wouldn't waste my money on these planes to add to your garage. So with that said, I'm going to pick up the 2 games for you guys to check out the play in these 2 planes. Alright guys, back with the first game in the P40M, and we have a 3 objective map. Yeah, I do run some sort of optics on this thing, so it's always nice. And it's always kind of cool running these guys. The OWSS clan, if you guys don't know them, are for old school. These guys are from back before 2.0. Great bunch of guys. You see them in game, give them a 07, because they are pretty cool guys. We're going to run here toward the middle here to jump on this objective here, the mining plant. And we are going to see what we can do here. I was staying up a little high, hoping that I would run into a bomber or a heavy fighter, and unfortunately, nothing showed up. So I'm going to drop down here. I got 3 ground attack planes, and this is, you know, with the way I have the airplane set up, I have it set up for a survivability. So I have no problem dropping down in here and taking some flak from these planes. And with these 650s, that's what they do real well. I mean, they roll through high HP targets relatively quickly because the guns don't heat up. Unfortunately, the problem with it is they're very short-ranged. We're talking, you know, 1,400. I think actually 1,500, 1,600 feet is about where you can start actually doing some pretty decent damage. So pull back around on here. We got the inbound red players. Yeah, this is going to be a shit show. Oh, pull up on the IL, nail him, and of course my engine's knocked out. Come back around here on this other P40. He's a human pilot. See if I can knock him out. He's on the tail of one of my teammates, and I want to try to get it cleared. Unfortunately, I got the A6M3 right behind me. Sets me on fire multiple times. Yay! And they got the mining facility. Kind of guessed that was going to happen because our blue team was just coming in about the same time they showed up. And I happened to be on the wrong side of the objective. Yeah, well, shit happens, right? back to that. I mean, back to the actual plane. I mean, this one does not have the altitude performance the Tomahawk 2B does, so it does not do well. You know, anything above about 6,000 feet, it starts to struggle. But like I said, pick on the targets that that you're going to be able to do well against. Ground attack planes, heavy fighters, that kind of thing. Try not to get yourself mixed up too often into a dogfight with other aircraft unless you have a clear exit and as you have the speed advantage where you can get out. I'm trying to pick up these ground attack planes before they get too far into this cap, the only one we have right now. And it also drew off a bunch of their planes off the center cap, which allowed us to retake it, the mining facility. So pick up on the Hurricane 2, which might be one of the few aircraft that it can outturn. I'll have to check that out. Maybe, maybe not. So I'm still going to keep pummeling these guys. I don't like, you know, GAs left untouched will do a significant amount of damage to your objective. So we got a lot of red here, lots of GAs to kill off, which is, you know, that. And I'm not saying this can't dogfight. You just don't really want to. Like I said, you want to pick your targets of opportunity and try to stay away from as many of those turn and burn aircraft as you can. You know, I'll pick on another P-40, no problem. You know, I'll pick on a Focke-Wulf, no problem. Those kind of things. You know, I'll pick on a heavy fighter. I'll pick on a bomber. But for the most part, I have a tendency to stay away from as much turn and burn as I can. Yak ones, sure, if he wants to give me a head-on, I don't have a problem with that either. And you know, and I've said in a number of videos, you know, you're always looking for them ambushes where their planes are not paying attention and you're able to come in and just, you know, put a bunch of damage on them and then either follow, turn on them if you can outmaneuver them and get on their tail. Otherwise, you just got to keep rolling and get that buffer zone before you flip back over and come around. So I got the BF-110E. He's up high and he's making a run at me. I got the Hurricane. And I was really tempted about going out to BF-110, but he's almost toast. Yeah, we're gonna pick up on these guys because they're coming in hot and heavy, coming in after my KI-88, and I don't want that guy on his tail. That Hurricane 2's got some pretty nice guns. Pick up. Now I got a P-39Q-15 coming up top, and you'll see right what we're talking about here with, you know, going into the vertical with this plane is just not its cup of tea. Even with the boost on, it was hard to get up that high. So it was looking pretty decent right now, 299 to 180, and that's when you know, okay, I see the map, I know what's going on. I got to drop in here. So I'm coming back into the center here to try to deal with this stuff. That's about the time they turn the sector. Unfortunately, so many times you get working in here and you get so many fighters twirling around you. Sometimes you kind of lose focus on what's going on the objective map, and in this situation, that's exactly what I did. Was too busy turning and trying to knock out planes that were moving in on the other objective that we actually did have at the time. Try to get up here up on the F4F, see if I can knock him out. He is currently, once again, busy with my objective fighters, so it gives me a chance to work him over pretty nice. And of course, I'll take the fighters over the GAs any day of the week, especially if they're not paying attention. Pull back in around. Unfortunately, the JU-87G was going right in there, and we were relatively close to losing this cap. So you'll see why I turned my guns to him instead of the Hurricane. It lets us rebuild that objective. So pick up the human pilot and the other P-40. Come back in around on him. See if I can get him knocked out before I go back to center. We had, like I said, literally had the game in the bag, and you'll see at this point I really wasn't that worried because we had all those blue planes headed toward center right there. Unfortunately, just not the right kind. You know, we have two GAs. Unfortunately, I think a couple of them crashed into the ground and blah blah blah. But whatever. So now we're down 2 caps. I'm going to pick up this Hurricane, get him off my teammate's tail. Yeah. You know, once you get those 50s on target, they just work them because you never ever really overheat them unless you're just laying on them way hard. Come back in here. I'm going to pick up this guy as he goes by. Yeah, there we go. and then I'm going to continue on my way into cap here and see what we can do. Unfortunately, that by that time the mining cap had flipped, and we had a real tight score of 398-404. Not a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, it was an excellent game on both sides. Yeah, Anima Diversion. That was a great game on your part with the KI-88. Just unfortunately between the two of us, I mean, we're two human players, and we both dropped over 10K on our combat points, and we still couldn't pull it off. So, you know, hats off to you, OWSS. And I'm gonna bring up the next game for you guys to check out the 2B and see what you guys think of that about that plane. All right, back with the Tomahawk 2B battle. This has got a little better altitude performance. So this is one of my if I had to pick between the two planes, this is the one I would want. Yeah, it doesn't mount rockets, but its altitude performance is a little bit better, which makes it a little easier to deal with these heavy fighters. Pick up the Bullfighter right off the bat, and you know, and that's what the P-40 in general does pretty well. You know, with its altitude performance and its speed. You know, it's setting you up for the P-51, which is a great plane at altitude. And, you know, and these aren't too shabby in themselves. So pulling back around here, get the Bullfighter right off the bat, pull around on the boomerang, flying away. It's always nice. Pick tab guy up. So now you'll see me, and I know I've talked about this several times about to deny, you know, a plant or an objective to somebody, and you'll see most of my team, they're headed toward the center objective here. And I'm going to go over here because I see the mining plant starting to get flipped. I got two GAs with me, and we are headed toward this plant. Unfortunately, these two GAs, which kind of pissed me off in most of this game, you'll see what they do here. Yeah, that's what they do for a big chunk of the game. They will circle that corner right there. So I'm coming in by myself. I know I got an IL-2 here, but that's also when I run into the A6M3 experimental. So flip over. I'm going to pick up the IL-2. I was kind of figuring that A6M3 wasn't really paying attention to me, and about that time I noticed he's coming around on my tail. So flip up and over. And this is not a good thing right here, fellas. I would not recommend ever doing this. I didn't have much choice with this. The fight I'm going to get in the A6M3. I can't beat him in a turn. Going head-to-head with him is also not a great thing either, you know, because he's got the 230s. But I do end up pulling this off and actually making it work. So flip back over on the A6M3. He's actually kind of lost interest in me, so I'm going to put a pummeling into him and just keep that nose headed the opposite direction. I don't want to get into a horizontal fight with him. I'm going to flip over and take off. So if he's not hitting me with his 30s, those two rather weak machine guns that he has, I'm not terribly worried about it. So flip back up and over, just about the time he gets into range for me, and put another. Oh, I couldn't quite finish him off. And like I said, I'm full denial mode right here. I'm trying to make sure that these guys can't flip this objective. And now you've noticed, this is what pisses people off. You see those two GAs down there on the corner? They haven't moved from our cat. They haven't moved. They are not engaged in this game at all. And you know what? If anybody actually has an actual, you know, beef with wargaming that this is a rigged game, you can point at some stupid shit like this, because one, they have their GAs all. One of them racked up over 8,000 combat points. Those two GAs that I have right now currently circling, yeah, I lost this game because two planes didn't have actually even, you know, attempt to play the game. But I'm not bitching, right? Okay, back to the review. Yeah, those 650s, just excellent. Just do an awesome job of working their way through high HP targets. Now, I've secured this from flipping, and I'm going back over here, and I'm going to have to. I'm trying to figure out if these GAs are going to attempt to come over here and help, or possibly move after that objective. And nope. Yeah, we're going to turn her back around, go the other way. So I can't sit here and, you know, just I gotta win this game. So that's what I'm after here. I'm totally all about winning this game. So that means I'm gonna have to come back in here into center, which isn't this thing's great, you know, real bread and butter, because it's not an easy It's not a turn and burn type aircraft. But I can pick on air defense fighters and planes that are not paying attention to me. And lots and lots of low health airplanes is what this thing does fairly well. Up and over, and that's why I pick up the Spitfire. He's not paying attention. Yep, work him over. And you know, with these aircraft that are high, with his, you know, with the crappy maneuverability, you can pull that stuff off if you're on the brake, you're on the flaps, that kind of stuff. You can slow down enough that you can keep the guns on those kind of planes like the Spitfires and A6Ms long enough to finish them off, as long as you get yourself that little bit of buffer zone. Unfortunately, there's too many red in the middle, and I didn't pull that one off very well. Bronislav, yeah. But spawn back in again. And like I said, of the two airplanes, I do like the 2B over the P40M, just because of the altitude performance and whatnot. I mean, yeah, you lose the rockets out, but this thing's almost got double the altitude performance of that P40M. So we flipped the center back. Unfortunately, while I was busy screwing around trying to take the center cap, they take both mining plants. And you know, I'm a fighter. There is not a whole hell lot of I can do. There's almost nothing I can do now, because I still have one GA stuck in some sort of loop down in the far corner, still circling base. So, yeah, you could say I'm not happy. So I'm picking out my biggest threat here. Spitfire's, of course, going away from me. He's not going to have much chance here at this range. If I can keep that distance right around that, you know, over 600-700 meters or feet, and I can just keep, you know, my airspeed down and the flaps up, I'm able to keep my plane or my guns on the target long enough to finish him off and not give him a chance to turn into me. All right, back into the BF-109E, and that's, you know, P-40s. That's what these planes are great at, picking on these heavy fighters, GAs and whatnot. At this point now, we just have nothing but bots in center, and we're going to see what we can do. Finally, one of the red teams is going to go down there and kill the GA for me, maybe send him back to spawn. And now that the other one that finally did get shot down, he respawned, and now he's actually going to go to a, you know, a mining facility and assist his team. It's the pray and spray with this thing, you know, and that's what the thing about the 650s. And if everybody's not going down the P40 line and the P51 and the P47 and all that stuff, this is what you're gonna get in those fighter lines. Nothing but 50 cals, which are great, but the range is actually terrible. And you know, if you like the cannon firepower, you're not gonna like these kind of planes. So pick up the XP44, finish him off, flip back over. Of course, I run into my own pilot, my own plane. I didn't even think that we actually even touched, but we apparently had. All right, pick off the, see if we get the Spitfire before he does more damage than he already has. Flip back down. You got the MiG-3 coming in here, and oh yeah, we'll go head to head. Pick up the other guy, pick him up too. Flap around on him. And nope, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to keep going after the MiG-3. And like I said, at this point, I'm just looking for damage and whatnot. I was already pissed about this game as is. So, get in on the MiG-3. Finish him off. Flip up and over. MiG-3 and the KI-43-2 is coming in here. I'll put some shells into him. And then back down through. Not even going to try to attempt to turn until I get that little bit of buffer zone. There goes. Those guys are not pursuing, so let's me flip over and come back in on here. Now I'm looking for, yep, there you are, buddy. We'll see if we can get the MiG-3. He's giving me a nice broadside. You know, use your flaps and whatnot, and get back in on him. So, I mean, honestly, it was a good game for me, but yeah, I don't know what to say. I was really disappointed in that. The fact that I had two GAs that didn't even participate in the battle was something I wasn't very happy about. But what are you going to do? So I hope you guys enjoyed the review of this package, the Sky Tigers. You know, it's a blah package. You're either going to like it because you like the P40 series, the P51s, or you're going to hate it because they're just that. They're just blah. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will be putting up some putting some more videos up tonight yet.